Coach, pool draws have been announced for the next tournament. They would say that you've been drawn in a very tough pool. Just your thoughts starting the series well.
I think that's about the 50th time that a reporter has said that I'm starting in a tough pool or the pool of death or whatever. Look, they've got to be tough. I mean, it's a World Series, and anybody who has been involved with it or has seen us play knows just how tough it can be. We have some good sides in there, like Argentina and France have pushed us very hard over the last few years, and we won't be taking them easily. And obviously you've got Japan, who are building. You've seen some great performances from Japan in the World Cup, and they'll be looking to take that forward into a sevens year, which sees them hosting an Olympics. So it's going to come from everywhere. We're champions at present. We want to go and protect that. And what I'll firmly do is ensure that we look at the next 2 months and what we're about. Developing the players that have developed to a level so far, and any new players that are coming in, that they're adding in, and looking to the future of Fiji Sevens as well. I mean, it's not just about the next season, it's about the next 5 to 10 years of what Fijian Sevens rugby can do around the world.
Just any new players you planning to rope in for this 7th series that you've probably looked at during the off-season?
Look, we got 8 weeks until we go to Dubai, and obviously the first view of players that we get tend to be in our training environment. There's a few players there that have gone well over the sort of first 5 or 6 weeks they've been involved in, and I'm not going to put pressure on them now by outing them on camera. I just want them to get on with their job. I want them to fly under the radar, if you like, get on with the work of learning what it takes to be at that level, learn from the players that are already do it, who show the behaviours and mentor these players to get where they need to. And I want to see their talent come through, and when their talent does come through, it stays there and it remains there for the future for Fiji.
Is the team already in camp? Or
We've been in DTEs, so we've been at local gyms for sort of about 7-8 weeks, and we've been in 2 weeks of camp now. We'll be in camp next week, and we'll keep going. And we had a good week this week. We ended up on the sand dunes this morning, and for some of those young men, it was their first introduction to being on the dunes with those senior boys they've seen wearing the white jersey, and that's a huge connection for them to suddenly realise, wow, I'm just got my foot in the door here, and this is the next job is to stay where I need to, do what's right, and try and push those senior players as much as I can.
Olympics is next year for the 7th. You're looking at any players from the World Cup team that went to Japan? Any particular players that you want to take?
Yeah,
with you?
33 of them, I mean, look, anybody can represent Fiji. I mean, that's what you want. You want the best players playing for Fiji. But there's a recipe you've got to get right through that this next year. And the recipe is we're going to play in 10 tournaments plus an Olympics. We're going to play in the Oceania tournament next month. As similarly here, I'm talking at a HR Institute convention here, and it's about building teams. It's about what it takes to get a group together, to get them to think the same, to get them to be physically the same and to play the same game. And what you need is access to those players to ensure that you can develop that over a period of time, under pressure, make mistakes, come back together, and that's really what will determine whether those players get in there or not. Sure, I'm looking at players, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not. There's everybody will talk about Semi Ranrandre, and the qualities he had, but he's been away from France now for a number of months, and obviously his club are going to be looking for him to add in and pay up the contract that he's on in France. So I've spoken to a number of clubs in Europe about players, but the reality is obviously we're going to have to see exactly what their contracts look like in Europe, and if and when they can, they might possibly be involved.
The Oceania tournament, have you got a team ready for that?
Yeah, I haven't announced it yet. I have plans in my head about what that will look like. Obviously we don't actually play in the full tournament because we've qualified for the Olympics. Fortunately, we're in a blessed position to then possibly look at some combinations I want to have a look at, some new players who have done well that possibly could have exposure at that level, playing at the ANZ against the likes of New Zealand, likes of Japan. So that gives us another opportunity. But what I don't want to do is lose some momentum as well in the group that has got us so far over the last 2 years, has developed. I mean, to build a team, you're looking at a 2 or 3 year period, and we're sort of getting to that stage now where I can see exactly how we map out, and this year is going to be, another crucial year for that development of this team.
Have you managed to maintain the main team from last year?
Yes, we have. But the only one we've lost is Mesulami Kunavula. He went to Edinburgh, and obviously he's doing well. He started for them last week against Leinster, so it's great to see an individual get a leg up like that and do well. Kali Nasoko is injured at present, and he's on his rehab and doing really well with that. But apart from that, yeah, we've retained everybody.
Thanks
Thank you very
coach.
much.
All the best.
Thank you very much. Good. See you in